I'm going to demonstrate one option of a boat entry. I'm sat on the rib. I'm going to swing one leg over the side, so I'm like cowboy. I might swing the other leg over and just go in, yeah? Or from here, I could roll to the side. And if I'm rolling to the side, guess what? One end on the mast, one end on the reg, roll to the side, happy days. I'll only don one cylinder. I'll don the left. So it's fully on, bungeed in, inflator hose connected, necklace over the mouth, okay? Same idea. I'll roll one leg over, then maybe a second and get in. And then I'll be past the right tank from someone, just like yesterday, where we were past the right cylinder.
Brilliant.
I'll take that and I'll don it, deploy the hose, I'll put it in and I'll connect. Nice and simple, okay? So just to show you the two methods. So we're gonna do the same thing. You're gonna try method one, get in, stow your stuff, hand it up to the boat guy, and you know now how when you hand it, you're gonna have one hand around the front where the hoses are, one hand at the base, which is gonna expose the valve for people to catch that and lift it. So don't hold it around the valve. Hold it at the hoses. Because you're not using that to lift, you're using the base of the tank to lift.
Hold it at the neck just before the...
Yeah, you know where the hoses come down.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's where you're going to hold. So the SPG and then the low pressure hoses are here, but it's the bottom that you're lifting from.
Top is free to be grabbed.
It's the, where the valve is, the hand wheel and the extension post, because that's what we lift up from, okay? So we'll hand those up, and then we'll then make the second entry. 2 entries, 1 exit onto the boat, okay? So we're just gonna see how that feels. Now when we're on the rib, of course, what we're gonna try to do, all the tanks will be lined up. We'll be sat on the rib. I'll show you the actual boat so you get an orientation. I'll pull the tanks to me and I'll have them side by side, okay? So I know where I am, where my kit's are. I've got my harness on, of course. If I'm boat diving, I'll put my SMB in my pouch. The less I've got clipped on my bum, the less can uncatch and fall off. Then what I'll do, I'll get my fins on.
Yeah.
Because if I've got my tanks on my body, it's really hard to bend down and do my fins. So fins are first. Well, the tanks are already here now, so I just lean forward, grab the tank, clip it on. They're resting on the rubber part of the dinghy now, aren't they? Now they're really easy to lift up and bungee. Okay, so we'll try and make it as easy as we can. So we've got probably, 20, 30 minutes playing around on that stuff if we want to. Okay, so it's just to give that boat vibe, give that experience. We might share the boat on the swim out, on the ride out, then some other divers will leave it. So on the way, we're gonna have really nice etiquette, where kit will be nice and stowed, nice and tight, tanks in the rack, fins stowed underneath us so that we're not occupying tons of space. Now I could roll in with my fins up here and my tanks on. That's a bit crazy now. Yeah. I've got no ability to move myself.
Yes.
Exactly. So fins on in the rib, okay. What we're gonna try and do is look back at the boat. Now we don't want to be crazy close to it because we've got divers coming in and coming out. So we need to be a distance away, but we need to be looking at it. There'll be bits of metal in the water. There'll be the propeller and there'll be the ladder. So I've got things to look at and I'll do my best job. Yep, go horizontal, of course, while I'm donning the tanks and looking. Or I can go upright. Yeah, whatever's comfortable for me. When you're horizontal, of course, you should be pretty stable. You've been showing me that all day. Exactly. But if you want to be vertical, no big deal. So the entry part's simple enough. When we're sat there, to swing the leg over. What we'll do, to get out, of course the tanks are going to be prepped. When you hand them up, either Steve or myself will be in the boat, we'll take them from you, okay? I'll probably stay in the water while you guys are in the water, and then Steve will stay on the boat while we're doing that stuff, so we've got you covered on both sides. Okay. Yeah, so once we've got in, you're going to prep that right tank. You're going to disconnect the left tank, pull the necklace in front, because then when you hand the right tank, the left one now, all you need to do is unclip it. It's still in the mouth. As you push it forward, the hose is still running to the valve, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you're still breathing. Yeah. Your fella comes in the back to hold the tank. Yeah. And as he lifts it up, he's taking the mass away, isn't he? Yeah. which means you're becoming more buoyant. So all you do is you just go, and the red comes out of your mouth.
Take the necklace off then.
Yeah, so the necklace has come forward, the hose has come forward.
I forgot to do that once.
Right, okay, and he's pulling you. Right. So you'll hand up the tank. So I mean, I'll show you that first. I'll hand you up, and then you hand up the tank, and then when he takes it, it's not attached to you. And as soon as he takes it, happy days, you become more buoyant. Once the gear's off you, we're fairly buoyant, right? Okay. So what we're going to do, to use the rope to get into a rib, you would typically inflate the wing so you're buoyant. When you grab the rope, grab it, you'll be in the water, you'll come up and you'll hold each part of the line. You're going to do like a 3 count. Push yourself down, come up, push yourself down, and on the way up this time, you kick the fins as you pull up, and you'll come up and you'll breach. You'll end up probably with your tummy kind of like half over, yeah? And then once you're there, depending on how you are, we'll help you in a little bit, or you just get your knee up and come up over the rib.
Lock your arms out.
Well, the fins will be behind you. So you'll be in the water like this, you'll hold that, down, up, down, and on this up, that's when you're kicking the fin. You'll come up, hold that line as Tony says, push your tummy over, you'll end up here. Your fins will be behind you at this point. And then that knee, you can try and then get it over. And then you'll be really elegant as you then get into the rib, okay? And then once you're there, typically, your teammate will help you off with the fins. And then when you come in, then you can stand up. But there's no weight on you at this point, okay? And that's basically the way in from it. So what I thought was interesting was to see actually how these guys get in the water. This is like how we learn to get in, usually. And I mean, clearly it works, you know, I mean, it's not my favorite. I mean, I get a bit dizzy if I roll backwards. I think also I can't see the rib when I roll backwards. When I surface in the water, I'm not quite sure which way I'm facing.
Yeah.
So I don't like it, and me personally, I avoid it whenever I can.
That young lad, he did right.
Yeah. Fearless. Fearless.
Instructor. I was instructor.
That's right. That's right. So we did a couple of entries, right? And so we're doing the first entry, left-hand cylinder is donned. And how did you find it, Mo?
I mean, it doesn't look pretty,
but I felt
Okay.
good. It was
But-
so smooth.
Okay, but I mean, in terms of putting a tank on the boat,
Absolutely fine.
okay?
Not a problem whatsoever. It's very easily handled. It's much easier than what I would expect.
Yeah, sure.
Because I just grab the bolt snap. Once you put the bungee on, that's it.
Yeah, I mean, and you got the boat to rest the tank on. I mean, if you look here, the tank is supported by the, you know, so we're not lifting anything, we're not carrying anything. We've only got to bring the tank up from the feet to the knees, haven't we? You know, I lay it across my knees when I'm actually donning it. And then what about the roll? I mean, how do you feel rolling to the side versus rolling to the back? Feels any better?
I've never rolled to the back before.
You've never done it?
All the boat dives were like
Yeah.
just from the lid.
Okay.
I've done it, roll the back.
Yeah. I mean, you find a difference. You find it.
Well, I think you did it earlier, because when you roll it back, you do get disorientated.
Yeah.
For seconds.
Yeah,
you
sure.
Up and you realise where you are. But the only thing I worry about is those ropes.
Fine.
Yeah, so,
Getting caught on
if
them.
I was rolling back with those ropes, I'd be worried about catching those ropes or something.
Fine.
Yeah.
Okay. What about receiving the tank though?
Fine.
Yeah.
One hand should be on the bolt snap, but where should the other hand be?
Should be in front.
Yeah. If you support that tank, basically the thing is, you know, when you're on the bolt snaps, if you've never done it, then that's great. But if you let that bolt snap slip out of your finger, or you go to catch it, you don't catch it, and you think you've caught it on, and you haven't, and then you let go, and then you lose the
One
tank.
thing is I threw that ring.
Right.
And the bolt steps aren't going to
Fine.
move.
Well, sometimes it's when you think it's clipped on, and you actually haven't clipped it in. Maybe you've caught a bit of fabric on the
Which
suit.
is when you've got gloves on and stuff.
Right. So for me, it's a two-handed operation.
Yeah, absolutely right.
One hand on the front, one hand on the base. And then not only that, you can take the weight a little bit off the bolt snap and make it easier to clip in. So I see how you do your long hose. I mean, yes, it works. Of course it does. You're in the open water. Nothing super bad is happening. I think it's a bad habit to deploy your long hose before you bungee the tank in. And the reason I say it's a bad habit is that if you pull the long hose out and then just let it fall, all right, it's not going anywhere. It's attached to the line, of course. But that only works in that situation, doesn't it? It doesn't work if, let's say, you were doing a beach entry where there's stones, rocks and pebbles and that now you're dragging that second stage through the ground. Definitely doesn't work in something like a silty cave environment where you're going to be at the surface and get a ton of mud and rubbish in the second stage. You know, you just don't want to cause any more damage than you need to. You don't want any hose out on display that's now doing something that you're not in control of. So this was then round one of getting in. One tank is already on and then receiving the second tank. So it does require someone topside obviously to go and do that. And then the boat captain, typically you would need to make sure they understood how it's going to go, that you would jump and they would hand you the tank, but crucially how to hold that tank. So I just came to take a look to see how the tanks are on. Quite often when you put the tank in the water and you don't have the same stable platform, that's where maybe you make the mistakes. But you guys were great. These both went on really good this time. Yeah, this time, the first attempt, they went on great. Yeah. Second attempt, a couple of small problems.
Yeah, I had to restart again. I took everything off with the back.
Yeah, so when we came out, what was the big thing that we had to do when we came out? We cleaned the tanks up, we handed them up, then we had to get out of the rib, right? Yeah. And we all got knackered doing that. Yeah, okay. It was hard work, wasn't it? We're also,
you had to pull me up.
yeah, but we're also in the baking sun. We were getting hot. We were getting knackered. We were in the sunshine. So of course, you're on there waiting for your teammate. You're getting warm. And this was now the start of these first little seeds of what was growing during the dive, in my opinion. Okay. So that's now where the small mistakes start to creep in. All right.
I'm a real believer in that. Escalate something small.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Really does. That's a very good point. That's seen it many times.
So now we go for round two. Then we're fully dressing while we're on the boat. Now, how do you find it? You know, when you sit like this on the boat, when you pull the tank up, the base, of course, is going to hit the rib. How did you find that to lift the tank up? You found it getting in the way?
No.
I honestly don't know why would it be a problem.
Well, you see,
it felt so smooth.
Tony's doing a really smart thing because he's got his arse hanging off the back a little bit more. The base of the tank, which is lower than his bum, is hanging off the back of the boat. When you sit too far forward on the rib and you try and pull the tank up, it's going to hit the seat, isn't it? Yes. Yeah, so this is perfect. This is exactly how it should be. And that's what makes it easy to lift. Yes. It's the people that are sat like on the floor and try and lift it and go, it's not working. And they think it's the tank that's really too heavy or the bungee's not long enough. Well, no, the base of the tank is hitting the deck. So this is exactly right, okay? So this is you, Mo. You're getting ready now.
Always anxious.
Okay.
It's quite stressful.
And this is my maybe second.
It is quite stressful. But we're sat down now. All the other times that you've done on DOFMO, you've been standing up or floating. This should be the most stable that you've ever been, shouldn't it?
It should be, but it's not about the physical part.
All right. I'm glad you said that. So it's not actually about the condition of the water, is it? It's about the condition of the mind.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Now we went and then we had a little bit more of a chat, Mo, so we haven't got to talk too much more about it, but you can see where you're putting the hand is wrong here.
First stage, twist it on, because otherwise I won't get the bungee around.
Exactly. You're holding the thing that the bungee should be going around. Okay. And then same story, roll to the side. And this time, of course, we're now all fully dressed, aren't we? So once we get ourselves together and we collect our teammates, we're ready to go. So if you all else being equal, if it was calm like that, would you prefer to go in with one and be handed one, or go in with two and crack on with a dive?
Two, crack on with that.
Yeah?
I like being handed them. So,
Okay.
I don't mind.
I can do one and one.
Sure.
But why?
Well, I mean, there's no. I mean, I'm just curious to you what you found easiest, because I mean, you can see the conditions. You know, it's calm.
Yeah.
You know that there's no current. We haven't got to get down quick. So it's just interesting to hear what you found easier. That's all. There's no right answer in this condition. Now, if it was rough, if there was some current, if there was some tide you had to catch,
You want to get down.
you'd want to get in and get on, wouldn't you? So definitely, if you were going to roll in, I would definitely recommend that you put a hand over maybe the mask, and then maybe the palm over the reg while you do that.
I've lost the mask doing that.
Yeah. Well, you did, I think, when you first jumped in. Yeah, the mask strap can't. They do tend to fly off.
Well, it was a new hoodie which
Ah,
I'm used to.
yeah,
And I
yeah.
got a hole in it because it's filling up there all the time.
All right. Well, we got a little tool shed. Yeah, we're going to drill some holes. We'll take it off your head first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, good idea.
So now we're in the water, and what we should notice is that we should be fairly stable, fairly comfortable. Okay. But the first thing we do, of course, is ask you guys to check your long hoses.
Yeah, and that's when I realized mine wasn't. It didn't feel right.
Right.
So and it was like, you know, I couldn't figure it out. So I thought,
Okay.
just take it all off, start again.
Yeah.
Which is what I did.
And so,
Yeah.
if you think about it, if my assumption is correct that we're on the rib, starting to be a little bit not thinking clearly because we've got a tiny bit of stress, making a few procedural errors, then for sure this is now the next one, isn't it? Yeah. Okay. That we jump in, problem with the hose. So, aside from the fact that it's always good to check it, yeah, it shows that the problem existed, and it hasn't showed up at all this week. That's the first time for you, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Okay. Yeah. So that's like, you know, sort of strike two for me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we get in, and the first thing you told me, Mo, I think you told me that you noticed that your teammate was at the surface.
Yes.
And I was quite curious you said that, because I had the feeling that you were facing this way and Tony was up there facing that way. Yeah, because I was watching you, looking at him, watching you. Okay.
The question in my mind was to turn around and go up or wait for him to come down, hang on with the
Well, I remember signalling you. I remember tapping you and saying, look for your buddy. And then you turned around.
I promise you, I knew he was still up. I was just getting my trim and buoyancy right.
But where were you looking?
I was looking the other way.
Okay, right, that's what I'm getting at. Okay, so by all means, get your trim, get your buoyancy, get comfortable. But while you do that, that's now your new reference, isn't it? That's your buddy, and that's who you're looking at. I don't need to look at myself while I'm connecting a hose or checking my trim or doing what I'm doing. That's the guy that I need, because guess what? He's carrying a copy of my dive plan, my wet notes, he's carrying 2 additional cylinders for me, he's got a backup computer, he's got my compass, and he's probably got the car key. This is the guy that I need to be. Yeah, so this is the habit I want you guys in. We started building that habit at the surface. Well, let's build it on the way down now. Okay, don't just think it's okay to dump gas and shoot down. Okay.